The Little Mermaid fucking lied to me. Hello YouTube, I'm Darkest101 and happy Halloween everybody. Remember last year when I took us on a little vacation to Haddonfield and we saw a horrible movie? This year I'm going to take you on another little trip. Where to this time? Rapture. Bioshock. You certainly have some what the fuck moments, don't you? I mean, 2K Games really knew what they were doing when they made this little masterpiece. A game almost everyone can agree is fantastic. Not only did they agree it's fantastic, however, but also a nerve-wracking horror experience. It looks like the rapture happened, people. Let's dive into Bioshock. In a sense, Bioshock might be one of the most well-founded ideas for a horror game ever conceived. I mean, let's take a step back for a moment and remember where Rapture is. It's at the bottom of the ocean, like the absolute bottom, so no matter how open air the game may feel, no matter how big the space is, there is always that close quarters, claustrophobic feel to the game. In a horror game like this, that feeling is perfect. And yes, I know that primarily Bioshock is a first-person shooter rather than a horror game, but the fact that you're in first person just makes that horror aspect of this game that much more immersive. And speaking of immersion, this is one of the most immersive games I've ever played. Even more so than, dare I say it, Skyrim. In Skyrim I was never really compelled to actually read any of the books, which I guess just makes me a sucky RPG gamer, but just playing through the story of Bioshock will give you barely any information as to how Rapture actually went down the shitter. Collecting audio logs is the best way to go for any backstory. Also, fuck the big daddies. They are amazingly designed, integral to the story, and creepy as all hell with their clunking huge footsteps and whale-like groans, but goddammit, after the 5th or 6th encounter with one of these things, they stop being scary and start to become frustrating ammo sponges. The game begins with the player character Jack in a plane crash over the Atlantic Ocean. Upon surfacing from the wreck, Jack swims over to a nearby lighthouse where he steps into and activates a bathysphere, which takes him down to the city of Rapture. Reaching the underwater city, he is contacted by a man named Atlas, who guides him through Rapture so that the two can meet face to face. Along the way, Jack meets with and avoids the genetically enhanced splicers, men and women who've gone insane with their addiction to Adam, a genetic modifier that results in superhuman abilities. And just to show you how fucked up this city is, there's a mother singing lullabies through a revolver, ghosts of Rapture's former residents repeating actions with their twisted lies, and corpses actually littered across the whole damn city. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not even halfway through the first level, and I'm already sitting here going, what the actual fuck? The path to Atlas is sealed off, however, when Andrew Ryan, Rapture's founder, is made aware of Jack's presence in Rapture, and sends him through the medical pavilion and into the path of Dr. Steinman, who is also the player's first real look at how truly demented and insane Rapture has become. A former plastic surgeon, Steinman has become obsessed with the possibilities that Adam could bring to reconstructive surgery. Hopped up on the stuff himself, the good doctor begins seeing images of Aphrodite, Greek goddess of beauty, who told him to pretty much become the Salvador Dali of plastic surgery. Oh, would you look at that? Scumbag Aphrodite exists in Bioshock as well as God of War. Most of what remains of Rapture is pretty much like this. A whole lot of insanity and batshit twisted people. Meeting with Dr. Simon is a pretty damn horrible experience, because just look at his operating theatre. Look at it. Corpses everywhere. And then you remember, he's probably coated in so much dried and aged blood and chunks of gore that it starts to make you vomit in your mouth a little bit just thinking about how bad he must reek. Most, if not all of the levels in Bioshock work like this. You travel throughout the level trying to find someone or something to advance to the next section of the game. The only problem with this is the only obstacles in your way are the enemies, and enemy types don't tend to vary that much. I mean, technically there are a whole bunch of different splicers who have their own attack patterns, but they aren't really any different ways of dealing with them. The only real difference comes in the shape of the big daddies, and even then you only have two types of those, bouncers and rosies. And even then, you deal with them just the same. Most of the times you get rid of enemies just by shooting them. I actually recurringly forgot about the plasmids in this game. Oh yeah, the plasmids. Created from Adam, these genetic little pick-me-ups give you special power boosts. These include electricity, pyrokinesis, telekinesis, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Some are useful and others aren't. I kinda forgot about them and just stuck to my guns. You also get gene tonics as well to provide passive boosts. You can find plasmids and tonics around the place, or you can buy them. Yes, buy genetic pick-me-ups. But you can't buy plasmids or gene tonics with money, because that would be too fucking easy. No, you buy plasmids and gene tonics with Adam. And where do you get Adam from in this game? After killing Steinman and making your way back to the bathysphere station, you come across a fallen Big Daddy and a now alone little sister. Little sisters, by the way, are just fucking creepy. Orphan little girls implanted with sea slugs to produce Adam and have a Big Daddy as their bodyguard. Really, who'd want to defend something that so obviously screams, "Kill it with fire"? Atlas tells you to harvest the girl, but Dr. Tenenbaum, the scientist responsible for the creation of the Little Sisters, hands you a passive plasmid that you can use to exorcise the slug from the girl and rescue her, turning her into a regular little girl again. This offers a new mechanic in the game, find your Little Sisters. Finding them involves killing their Big Daddy guardians and you making a choice, to harvest or to rescue. Harvesting offers you more Adam, but by rescuing all Little Sisters in this stage results in Tenenbaum sending you a gift. Personally, I always went with the gift because you got Adam from that, you got ammo, you got a whole lot of different stuff from the gifts. Way more than if you just harvested all Little Sisters. Using the bathysphere to head to the fishing port of Rapture, Neptune's bounty, Atlas sends Jack to find a bathysphere where his wife and child are being held by Ryan. The way, however, is impeded by Peach, a former employer of Frank Fontaine, Andrew Ryan's political rival. Peach lets Jack through after he takes a few research photos of some of the splices. Arriving at the bathysphere, Ryan blows it up as soon as Jack arrives. Enraged, Atlas sends Jack to find Ryan and sends him through Arcadia, a sort of botanical gardens for Rapture. In an attempt to stop Jack, Ryan poisons the plant life in the gardens and kills their creator, Julie Langford. Langford, however, before her death, sends Jack to create an antidote called the Lazarus Vector. Completing this task, Jack moves on to the Rapture Mall, I guess. Here his progress is impeded by the artist, Sander Cohen, who recruits Jack to help him with his masterpiece. This section of the game is like something out of a nightmare. All the splices in this section of the game are just dipped in white paint to give them a statuesque appearance, and some of them only move when you aren't freaking looking.
Don't blink. Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead. They are fast, faster than you could believe. Don't turn your back. Don't look away, and don't...
Cohen sends Jack to kill some of his former friends who each betrayed him in sunlight, which also leads Jack to the Eve's Garden, a strip club Ryan apparently frequented. A series of ghost events happened about the last time Ryan came to the club, and it just takes the what the fucker meter and turns it up to the Jesus rating. A stripper there apparently fell in love with Ryan, but was paid by Frank Fontaine to carry Ryan's child. When Ryan finds out about it, he beats her to death in her own bed.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ryan. I didn't know. I didn't know Fontaine had something to do with it. What are you doing? No, don't, please. I loved you, don't, please, no.
As I mentioned, this little segment of the game actually made me put my controller down and just go outside to cry a little bit for 5 minutes. I swear, this part of the game fucked me up here a little bit. So, yeah, after that what the fuck moment, Jack finds all of Cohen's former partners, and Cohen lets Jack go all the way to Ryan's office. After setting off an EMP to shut down Ryan's security, Ryan decides to be a sore loser and starts sinking Rapture to avoid it from falling into Atlas' hands. Before the final confrontation with Ryan, however, Jack finds a few audio logs around the place about Ryan's child Fontaine had conceived in secret. It turns out he had the child genetically altered to age rapidly and implanted with several trigger phrases, including one plastered all over the wall outside Ryan's office. The same phrase that precedes every order Atlas has given Jack throughout the game so far.
Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Jack is then revealed to be Ryan's genetically altered son, a weapon to be used against him by Atlas, pre-programmed to follow any command issued with the phrase, "Would you kindly?" Jack was sent above ground whilst Ryan and Atlas fought it out earlier and brought back later, causing the plane from the beginning of the game to crash with that very trigger phrase. This phrase is also used by Ryan himself to force Jack to kill him.
Kill!
Before Jack can do anything else, Atlas uses the trigger phrase once more to force Jack to use Ryan's genetic key to stop Rapture's self-destruct. Atlas then reveals himself to be Frank Fontaine in disguise. What a shock. I'm not gonna say the twist that Atlas was Fontaine was obvious, because to some people they might have missed that entirely, but the setup was heavy-handed enough that it wasn't that well hidden either. Fontaine, now in control of Rapture's security, sends it all to kill Jack. However, the Little Sisters arrive and take Jack to Tenenbaum, who undoes some of the triggers in Jack's brain. Jack is then sent to find the plasmid antidote, as Fontaine uses another trigger to gradually stop Jack's heart. Finding the antidote, Jack goes after Fontaine. However, his way is impeded as Fontaine locks off the one and only exit way to the highest point in Rapture. The door can only be opened by a little sister, so Jack must don the garb, scent, and even voice of a Big Daddy. So this section of Bioshock was pretty much early concept design for Bioshock 2? This final level, however, before the fight with Fontaine, is a fucking train wreck. It's a straight up escort mission. The little sister who opened the door for you in the previous level is needed to open all the doors before Fontaine. However, she keeps fucking stopping to harvest Adam from corpses, and splicers keep attacking little sister for that same Adam. So, how is this a train wreck? Nothing actually happens if you let a little sister die. I am dead serious. You can let as many little sisters die as you like, and all that will happen is Tenenbaum will scold you a little.
Not longer is used with Adam. They are as vulnerable as any child.
No, please, don't wound me with your casual hatred. Reaching Fontaine reveals he's pumped himself with so much fucking Adam, he's actually turned into a bronze god. So Adam just turns you into a douchebag? This is the closest thing Bioshock has to offer in terms of a boss fight. No, it's just a straight up boss fight. Not that Bioshock needed boss fights before this, I'm just saying. Killing Fontaine will require 3 confrontations with the monster he's become. Each one with different types of not so new attacks. They're the same attacks, but different plasmids are used. First is fire, then it's ice, and finally it's electricity. You fight each form once, then after each fight you drain him for some of his Adam. After beating him 3 times, the Little Sisters finish the job. And the game actually has multiple endings, if you could believe. I like to refer to them as the hero, the oh shit, and you fucking asshole endings. And it all depends on how you interact with the Little Sisters throughout the game. And you thought they were just for Adam, didn't you? The you fucking asshole ending can be achieved by harvesting every Little Sister in the game. Every single one. You actually have no soul if you tried to get this ending on purpose. The ending is that Jack kills the Little Sisters who helped him, took control of Rapture, and rose to the surface, taking control of a nuclear submarine with Tenenbaum cursing your name. This is also the same as the "ah shit," but Tenenbaum's sad rather than mad. I call it the "oh shit" ending because you can get this just by harvesting one Little Sister, and that can be by accident. You see why I call it the "oh shit" ending now? Because you try and save as many Little Sisters as you can, but you just harvest one, and your entire ending scheme of being the hero is just fucked. The hero ending is of course much more light-hearted, but can only be achieved by rescuing all little sisters rather than harvesting them. Jack takes 5 little sisters to the surface and raises them as his adoptive daughters, giving them education, marriage, their own families, and all 5 of them are there to witness his death of old age. And thus we conclude Bioshock, and damn. The game is pretty damn awesome. Well, it isn't the horror extravaganza I was expecting. It's certainly eerie, creepy, and dark, but also thought-provoking, deep, and even touching in its good ending. The gameplay is a little sluggish, the enemies not varied, and levels perhaps a little too spread out, but all in all, it's definitely worth at least one playthrough. I mean, come on, the game won a friggin' BAFTA! Bioshock may not have been exactly the scariest thing we looked at this Halloween, but it definitely was the best, and thus deserves a dark rating of 81.
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
But as always, if you like what you saw today, you want to see another one like it, hit that subscribe button right there. Have a suggestion for my next review, please drop it in the comment section below, or on my Google Plus or Twitter. And as always, I've been Darkest101, you have been watching Darkest101 Reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of Halloween. Good night, YouTube. Don't have nightmares.